Social media connections may look simple, but behind them are mathematical ideas called sets and relations. These concepts explain how people are grouped and how those people are connected. So, good day, I am Romelyn Sila, and in this vlog, I'll be discussing Lesson 1 Sets and Relations in Discrete Mathematics. So, learn with me. This topic is not just about numbers, it is about understanding how we organize and connect information in real life. So, we have here table of contents. First is introduction to discrete mathematics. Second is the sets and relations. Third, logic and propositional calculus. Fourth is the proof techniques. And lastly, counting and combinatorics. So first, let us define what is discrete mathematics. Here I put study of countable, separate things used in logic programming and algorithms. So discrete math is a study of things you can count, like steps, objects, or decisions, and many areas of computing. Now let's move to sets. A set is a group of unique items. For example, A is equals to 1, 2, and 3. We can combine sets with union, find shared items with intersection, or find what's only in one set using difference. Now let's move into relations. A relation connects elements from one set to another, like a student's and their grade. It can also have special properties, like reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. When we say reflexive, it relates to itself. And when we say symmetric, the order doesn't matter. And lastly, the transitive, the connection can carry through. We have here logic operators that can help us build and test statements. We use operators like AND, OR, NOT, and IF to check conditions in code and decision making. So next, let us move into the truth table example. So this truth table example shows how logic works with different values. It is also useful in programming and digital systems to test all possibilities. In conclusion, discrete math gives us tools to work with logic, sets, and functions. It is also a big part of how we solve problems in technology and computer science. Let's learn what propositional logic is. So what is propositional logic? It is a branch of logic in math and computer science that deals with propositions, statements that can only be true or false. For example, it is raining. That is either true or false. Now, we use these logical connectives to combine propositions. Why is it important? Because we use these logical connectives to combine propositions. Why is it important? Because it is the foundation of reasoning. We use in math, programming, arguments, and everyday decision making. For example, in proposition 1, I will study tonight. The other proposition, I will pass the exam tomorrow. If we combine it, if I study tonight, then I will pass the exam tomorrow. If I study tonight, then I will pass the exam tomorrow. Another, if the Wi-Fi is not working, then I can browse the internet. See, propositional logic is simply making decisions based on conditions. Now, let's move to proof techniques. So what is proof techniques? It is a different ways to show a statement is always true. The common ones are direct proof, contradiction, contrapositive, and induction. If a number ends in 0, then it is divisible by 10. In direct proof, a number ending in 0 can be written as 10 times k, so it is divisible by 10. And here is the contradiction, contrapositive, and induction. And combinatorics. Counting simply means finding out how many possible outcomes there are. For example, if I have 3 shirts and 2 pants, I can make 6 different outfits. Combinatorics is a study of arranging and choosing objects. It also has 2 main parts, which is permutation and combination. When we say permutation, it is when order matters. Imagine giving gold, silver, and bronze medals to 3 athletes. There are 6 ways to arrange who gets which medal. And when we say combination, it is when order does not matter. For example, if I choose 2 ice cream flavors out of 4, there are 6 possible pairs since vanilla plus chocolate is the same as chocolate plus vanilla. Counting tells us how many outcomes permutation arranges them and combination selects them. Guess. All these topics and discrete mathematics are connected. Sets and relations helps us organize objects and describe their connections, while logic and propositional calculus gives us the tools to reason about these relationships. Proof techniques then allows us to justify our reasoning and be sure our conclusions are correct. Finally, counting and combinatorics let us measure how many possible ways things can happen. Together, they form a strong foundation not only for mathematics but also for computer science, data analysis, and problem solving in everyday life. So, discrete mathematics may seem abstract at first, but it's actually a powerful way of thinking that supports the digital world around us. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new. Good day, everyone. I am Romelyn Sila, a first-year Bsit student from Group 1. For my part, I will be discussing predicates. So, what is predicates? A predicate is a statement that contains variables and only become a proposition once we assign specific values to those variables. So is predicate useful in mathematics, computer science, and logic? Yes, it is useful because they help us describe relationships or properties of objects and elements. For example, take a predicate p of x is greater than 5. If we assign a value like p of 7, it becomes 7 is greater than 5. Since that is true, the predicate has now become a true proposition. That ends my discussion about predicates. Hey everyone, I am Romelyn Sila from Bsit 1A, and before we start, let me introduce to you our group. We are Group 1, and for today's vlog presentation, we will be discussing one of the essential topic in discrete mathematics, which is relations and functions. So this topic is very important because it helps us understand how elements connect or map between sets. It is also widely used in programming and data structures. So for my part, I'll be explaining the basic concept of relations and functions. Let's start first with relation. A relation shows how elements from one set paired with elements from another set. In simple terms, it describes a relation between two sets. It is often represented as set of ordered pairs. For example, if set A is equals to 1, 2, and 3, and set B is equals to 4 and 5, the possible relation is 1 and 4 and 2 and 5. This means that 1 is related to 4 and 2 is related to 5. Next is function. A function is a special type of relation. It is special because each input should have exactly one output. In other terms, no ordered pairs has the same first element. So, as you can see based on the given example in function, the function can be written as 1 and 3 as set, and then 2 and 4, and 3 and 5. The first numbers are the inputs and the second numbers are the output, and as you can see, there are no repeated inputs. So that is how function works. And that's the basic idea of relations and functions. Understanding how sets connect and how input or how each input maps to an output. Next, my groupmate will continue and explain the next part of our topic. Thank you! ayun na nga, ito po yung mga topics under discrete mathematics. Ito po ay kakaunti lamang, pero sana ay may natutunan kayo. And once again, I am Romelyn Sila from Bsit 1A. Thank you so much for watching.